Hey there, comic fans! Welcome back to Comic Yahud. Today we're diving into Chapter 9 of Tintin and the King Ottokar Sceptre. Let's get started. With a click of the shutter, the scepter shoots out of the window, flying through the air with unexpected force. Tintin's exclamation of surprise echoes as they watch it soar towards its destination. Tintin, fueled by determination, tells the guard the scepter has landed in the woods beyond the river, deciding to investigate. The guard advises him to find a boat by the bank, offering a glimmer of hope. With urgency, Tintin rows across the river, Snowy alert at the bow, as the castle walls loom behind them. The rhythmic splash of oars echoes their resolve to retrieve the scepter. Reaching the riverbank, Tintin secures the boat to a birch tree, his eyes scanning the wooded area ahead. Snowy stands close by, ready to follow him into the dense forest. Tintin ventures deeper into the forest, his coat flapping slightly as Snowy follows closely, both determined to uncover the scepter's whereabouts. The castle stands in the distance, a silent guardian watching over their quest. Suddenly, Tintin pauses, spotting two men approaching through the trees, their demeanor suspicious. Curious and cautious, he peeks from behind a tree, Snowy mirroring his watchful stance. Listening intently, Tintin overhears the men grumbling about a botched plan involving the scepter and a missed target by the riverbank. Realizing the importance of their conversation, Tintin's eyes widen with new understanding as he clutches the tree for support. Tintin realizes the scepter is still missing and decides to act swiftly, planning to alert the authorities to surround the woods. His urgency is clear as he prepares to prevent any escape by the mysterious men. As Tintin turns, a sudden cheer echoes through the forest, causing him and Snowy to freeze in their tracks. Emerging from the trees, a man triumphantly brandishes the scepter, shouting his victory to the woods. Tintin watches from his hiding spot, recognizing the critical moment as the man dashes away with their coveted prize. As the man dashes away, clutching the scepter with triumph, Tintin lunges with determination, tackling him to the ground. The forest reverberates with surprise as Tintin's swift action catches the man off guard. Seizing the moment, Tintin grabs the scepter and races away, Snowy faithfully at his side, contemplating his next move to evade any pursuit. Behind them, the man lies dazed on the forest floor, stars circling his head. Tintin's escape is abruptly halted as two men appear, blocking his path, one of them exclaiming their capture of him. Snowy barks in alarm while Tintin, cornered with the scepter, realizes the challenge he's facing. Tintin struggles as one of the men grabs him, but he manages to shout to Snowy to save the scepter. With determination, Snowy leaps forward, snatching the scepter in his mouth and sprinting away into the forest. Snowy dashes swiftly through the trees, the scepter clutched securely in his jaws as the forest blurs by. His small form weaves expertly between the birches, focused solely on keeping the scepter safe. One of the men gives chase, shouting angrily at Snowy to stop, his voice echoing through the woods. His frustration grows as he struggles to keep up with the nimble dog racing ahead. Snowy speeds towards the riverbank with the scepter, a determined glint in his eyes as the man chases him, confident in his escape. The man's voice is filled with challenge, daring anyone to catch him as Snowy makes a daring leap. Snowy leapt bravely into the river, but the scepter caught on a tree branch and stuck fast. With a splash, Snowy plunged into the current alone, the lost treasure left behind. The man rushed to the river's edge, scanning the ripples where Snowy had vanished. Spotting the scepter caught nearby, he snatched it up with a look of triumph. Snowy emerged from the river, paddling frantically toward the shore. The man on the bank froze in shock as he spotted a boat gliding past on the river, carrying the detectives who were now pointing straight at him. As gunshots cracked through the forest, the man on the riverbank turned in panic and bolted to escape. Meanwhile, Snowy paddled desperately, fighting the current to reach the safety of the riverbank. Driven by a sudden urgency, the man makes a swift decision to flee, clutching the scepter tightly as he races away from the riverbank. In a frantic rush, the man sprinted toward his two accomplices, who had already knocked Tintin unconscious. Together, they regrouped in haste, determined to make their escape. Thompson and Thompson, alongside the determined soldiers, charge through the forest with Snowy leading the way. Their focus is unwavering as they pursue the fleeing men, pistols drawn and ready. Snowy reaches Tintin, who lies dazed on the forest floor, while Thompson rush to his aid with concern. Tintin's loyal companion nuzzles him, trying to bring him back to his senses. Tintin, still shaken, quickly inquires about the scepter as Thompson explains in frustration that Snowy dropped it, and the pursuers have regained it. The soldiers race past them with determination, their focus on retrieving the scepter once more. Thompson, with his pistol ready, watches helplessly as a getaway car speeds down the dirt road, realizing they've missed their chance to intercept it. His exclamation of regret hangs in the forest as the car disappears from view. Tintin, catching up to Thompson, questions how they found him, and Thompson explains that the castle informed them about his crossing the river. Snowy bounds ahead, the forest alive with the urgency of their continued pursuit. Tintin and Thompson, alongside Snowy, spot the king's car in the distance as they discuss how he was informed of the situation. Their determination to catch up with the fleeing criminals is evident as they strategize their next move. Approaching the king's car, Tintin urgently explains the situation to the king, revealing that the gangsters have escaped with the scepter. He requests the use of the car, promising that they will pursue and capture the thieves. With the car now in their control, Tintin, Thompson speed down the rugged forest road. Their faces set with determination, they race forward, intent on reclaiming the scepter and thwarting the criminals' plans. Tintin grips the steering wheel tightly, a determined look on his face as he reassures Thompson that they haven't lost much ground on the fleeing criminals. With confidence, he promises they'll soon catch up, the road ahead open and inviting. Meanwhile, the gangster's car speeds along the dusty road, its occupants glancing nervously in the rearview mirror. The tension inside the vehicle is palpable as they push the car to its limits, trying to evade their pursuers. Inside the getaway car, the driver voices his worry about their dwindling fuel, suggesting they stop at the next petrol station. As the getaway car speeds down the winding road, the driver spots a petrol station ahead, offering a glimmer of hope. The car screeches to a halt at the station, and one of the gangsters jumps out, barking orders for 5 gallons of fuel with an urgency that brooks no delay. The attendant rushes to comply, sensing the impatience and desperation emanating from the vehicle's occupants. Meanwhile, Tintin and his companions continue their relentless pursuit in a sleek black car, the tires kicking up dust as they navigate the rocky terrain. Their eyes are fixed ahead, knowing they must close the gap before the gangsters can make their escape complete. The gangsters gather around a map, calculating their path as they discuss their proximity to the frontier, confident they will soon have the scepter safely out of Soldavia. Their conversation is filled with assurance, believing that in half an hour, the scepter will be beyond reach. Suddenly, one of the gangsters spots the king's car approaching in the distance, and panic spreads among them as they realize they are being pursued. The urgency of their situation becomes apparent as they scramble to decide their next move. Tintin and his companions arrive just in time, spotting the gangsters fleeing into the mountains, abandoning their car in haste. The realization that they caught the criminals off guard fuels their determination as they press on, knowing the chase is far from over. Tintin, Thompson leap from their car, racing up the rocky path with Snowy bounding ahead. Their determination is mirrored in their swift movements as they chase the gangsters into the rugged terrain. Ahead, the gangsters scramble up the steep hillside, clutching the scepter tightly, their faces etched with desperation. Each step is a struggle as they push forward, knowing their pursuers are closing in. Tintin urges his companions to hurry, his voice filled with urgency, as he climbs the rocks with Snowy by his side. Behind him, Thompson follow, their resolve driving them to catch up before the criminals escape. The gangsters, aware of Tintin's pursuit, scramble over the rocky hillside, determined to outsmart their pursuers. They hatch a plan to deceive Tintin, hoping to create a diversion that will ensure their escape. Tintin, with Snowy at his side, races over the uneven terrain, eyes fixed on the path ahead. His determination is palpable as he draws closer, unfazed by the gangsters' attempt to shake him off. With a rallying cry, Tintin urges Snowy onward, confident that they are closing the gap on their quarry. His resolve is unwavering as he pushes forward, intent on capturing the fleeing criminals before they can slip away. As Tintin and Snowy dart behind the rocks, gunshots echo around them, forcing Tintin to warn his companions to take cover swiftly. The tension mounts as they realize the gangsters are firing upon them, adding urgency to their pursuit. Tintin peers around anxiously, searching for Thompson amidst the chaos, but they seem to have vanished from sight. The sound of gunfire and cracking rocks heightens his concern for their safety as he presses on. Determined to outsmart the gangsters, Tintin devises a plan to flank them and signals Snowy to follow discreetly. Crawling stealthily, he leads Snowy around the rocks, hoping to surprise their adversaries from behind. The gangsters huddle behind the rocks, nervously searching for Tintin, convinced they might have hit him. Their relief turns to alarm as they spot Thompson approaching, unaware of Tintin's hidden advance. Suddenly, Tintin appears with Snowy, commanding the gangsters to surrender. His voice is firm, and his presence electrifies the air, catching the criminals off guard. Tintin's realization dawns as he accuses the gangsters of creating a diversion for their comrade to escape with the scepter. The gangsters, now trapped and exposed, raise their hands in defeat, the chase reaching a dramatic turning point. Thompson stride forward, determined to keep the gangsters contained, as Tintin makes a quick decision to press on alone. He signals them to handle the captured criminals, his eyes set on the path ahead where danger still looms. One of the criminals, clutching the scepter tightly, struggles to comprehend how Tintin remains hot on his trail. His frustration grows as he realizes he cannot shake off the relentless pursuit, feeling the pressure mount with every step. Tintin, aware of the fading light, confides in Snowy that their time is running short. The sky darkens around them, adding an extra layer of difficulty to their relentless chase through the rugged landscape. Tintin, silhouetted against the night sky, realizes they can't continue their pursuit in the darkness and decides they must camp for the night. The full moon casts a gentle glow over the rocky terrain, as Snowy stands beside him, understanding the necessity of their pause. Crouched together under the shelter of a rocky overhang, Tintin and Snowy wait patiently for dawn. The darkness seems to stretch endlessly, but Tintin knows they must bide their time until the first light of daybreak. With the first rays of dawn breaking the horizon, Tintin and Snowy are ready to resume their quest. Tintin's determination is palpable as he urges Snowy forward, resolute in their mission to reclaim the scepter. Tintin, eager to reclaim the scepter, leads the way briskly down a rocky path, his words of encouragement echoing to Snowy as they try to ward off the morning chill. Suddenly, Tintin loses his footing and slides down the steep rocks, his arms flailing as he struggles to regain control. Snowy watches with concern as Tintin manages to stop himself just in time, the threat of danger a constant companion. And that wraps up this chapter. If you enjoyed the story, head to the next part and be sure to like and subscribe for more adventures on Comic Yahud.